Hey, good evening and welcome back to Answers on Eschatology. My name is Dan Derry and I'm the president of the Institute of Fulfilled Eschatology. Hey, what I want to do in this video is just give an introduction to our upcoming series that we're going to get into, which is the Holy Spirit and the Restoration of Israel. Now, I'm not going to be able to give 4 days a week as I usually have been in this video series. I will do 2 or 3, more than likely. And the reason for that is I am working to finish a book by the end of this year, and it's been an ongoing process. I just really need to focus most of my energies on that. So that's the reason. And then once that book's completed, I'll be able to invest some more time looking at some topics and being a little bit more consistent and aggressive with these videos. So having said that, I'm just going to give you an introduction and an overview of the study, the Holy Spirit and the Restoration of Israel, that we will jump into beginning next week. So we're going to do this I put it this way, I have a 14-part series on my website, www.reformedeschatology.com, that I will be drawing from. And this is probably going to be way more than 14 videos or 14 parts, but you can find those articles on my website. And you can go through those. I'll be drawing from them, using them as a template, but obviously probably taking my time and expanding each one of those articles into several videos. So I'm going to give you an outline, like I said, going to hit on some major themes that we're gonna study, and then I'll just list a bunch of scriptures inside of those themes, so you can take this, study it for yourself in advance, and like I said, go to my website, www.reformedeschatology.com. Look at those articles, study them, and that's what we'll be getting into. And so here we go. Parts 1 through 2. And by the way, this will all change. This is how I have it laid out right now, but titles will change, parts will change. So it is what it is. Parts 1 to 2, we'll do the Holy Spirit and the Messiah. Okay, we're going to look at Isaiah 42, Isaiah 61, and Isaiah 49. We're going to look at the Holy Spirit being poured out on Christ as a sign of the restoration of Israel. Parts 3 through 8, we're going to look at the Holy Spirit and Pentecost. And we're going to look at Isaiah 32, 44, Joel 2, Zechariah 14, Isaiah 11, and Acts 1 through 2. And again, the Holy Spirit being poured out upon Israel through Pentecost was a definitive last day sign of the restoration of Israel. Parts 9 through 12, we're going to entitle it The Holy Spirit, the Resurrection, and the Calling of the Gentiles. And we're going to look at, of course, Ezekiel 37, Acts 13, Isaiah 55, probably 25 as well, Acts 15, and Amos 9. And parts 13 through 14 will be the Spirit, the signs and the Great Commission, and the Holy Spirit and the guarantee of the inheritance. We're going to look at Mark 16. I've got some parallel charts to show you on that, and Ephesians chapter 1, and many, many more, of course. So that is just an overview of what we'll get into. It's going to be a good study. My personal opinion is that we can't understand eschatology without understanding the doctrine of the Holy Spirit. And we can't understand the doctrine of the Holy Spirit without understanding its place concerning the restoration of Israel in their last days. So there's lots to study here. There's lots to get into. I don't have this all figured out. So as usual, I solicit your input, your questions, your concerns, your comments, good or bad. It's all good. We'll just study and grow together as we move on through this study. So, speaking of books, let me promote it this time because I never do it. My book, The Transition Between Two Covenants. If you haven't got it, if you haven't read it, I encourage you to pick it up. If you're in the States, go to Don Preston's websites. One of them, donkpreston.org or donkpreston.com. Buy it from Don. That's the least I can do. It's one of the ways I contribute to Don's ministry. I've learned so much from him and some of the other brethren out of the States. And I try to give back to Don whenever possible. So if you're in the States, buy it from him. Don't buy it from me. And if you're in Canada, you can buy it from me. Unfortunately, I don't have this stored up on my website yet, but email me, send me a message through my website, on the comments, whatever, do whatever. Tell me you want the book. I'll send you the book and you can send me money after. I'm easy. So I would suggest you get that. It is such a simple, straightforward study on the transition between two covenants. And what I do in the book is I demonstrate powerfully that since there was a transition in the first century, then the implication of that is that the elements of that covenant that was in transition, which is salvation, the inheritance, the image of God, etc., must have come to their completion and their consummation at the end of that transition period. It's a powerful study, and I encourage you to pick it up either from Don or from myself. So with that, I will let you go. Look forward to getting into our new study, The Holy Spirit and the Restoration of Israel, next week on Answers on Eschatology. Have a fantastic weekend, and God bless.